Welcome to the new video. Summer's arrived. Can you believe it? It's absolutely beautiful. There's been some changes. Yeah, the Indian's finally gone. What's replaced it? Nice little Triumph. Okay, video to follow. It'd be really, really good if you could subscribe to my channel, then you'd know exactly what's coming next. Hit that little bell. That's also going to tell you when, basically when a new video's coming up. I'll put the details up for you. Okay, right, on to the video. So yeah, so the Indian's gone, taken up to a dealership in Bristol, where I probably expect the price I got was fair. I did want a bit more for it, but the price we agreed was with all the added bits that I've got on the bike. You know, I had on there city bar and all the rest of it, which cost a fortune. Well, actually, sorry, it would have cost a fortune had I not bought it when I bought it. If I'd bought it direct from Indian, it would have cost me about 1,200 quid, but I got it cheaper than that. I had engine bar fill outs, you know, the leather bits, which did cost a fortune also. And then I had the Chieftain inch heat deflectors, called in the terms of biker world, the crotch coolers, which also were on the bike. I had a 400 quid dash cam also on the bike. And when I approached the dealership about the sale of the bike, all those items were attached to the bike. Oh, and some highway pegs, which I paid, I don't know, 60 quid for. So in all, extras wise, there was probably a good, well, second-hand value, 1,500 quid. And so we agreed a price on the bike. I tried to up the price. He didn't want to move. So I said, right, okay, I'll tell you what. I'll take all the extras off the bike. I'll take everything off of it. You will get the standard bike. No extras. And we agreed. And so the deal was done, which I'm happy about, because I know that through doing various research, that dealers are going to offer you somewhere in the region of about £2.5 grand less than what they can sell it for. And the deal to do really is to sell your bike, if you sell it privately, for about £1,000 more than what dealers would offer you. But it comes with complications. And a lot of people at the moment don't want to spend that sort of money on a second-hand bike that doesn't come with warranties or, you know, all of that. So I think that what I did was probably the best move. So I use it as a part exchange, and I have bought myself, as you'll see in the pictures, a Triumph Thunderbird LT, stands for Light Tourer. And that is a 1700cc motorcycle. It's a 2014, so it's older than my current bike was, which was a 2018, but it's got the same mileage on it. And yeah, I mean, I've also, okay, so I took it up to the Cotswolds and rode it for 3 days. Have to say, nothing but praise for the bike. I'm absolutely delighted with it. It's everything I wanted it to be. It's a little less, well, it's lighter for a start, about 30 kilos lighter than the Indian. The actual weight of the bike is down lower, so I used to get the feeling sometimes with the Indians it was going to fall over with me. I'm not as strong now in the leg, hips or ankle that I used to be when I was younger, and that has been a worry. And so this bike is the weight distribution is much lower. I know some of the new Indians, the Chieftains, have a lower centre of gravity, and I would love to have an Indian Chieftain, but I don't have that sort of money anymore. So I was looking for a bike that was going to give me more or less what the Indian gave me, closer servicing, which was important because my servicing was 100-mile round trip away, and so the current servicing is literally 24 miles round trip. And so that ticked a load of boxes. And yeah, the bike so far seems to be great. I have got an issue with the indicators that were working and then suddenly stopped working, which is a bit odd, and I can't fathom it out. I'm sure it's a simple wiring problem. However, I contacted the dealership that I purchased it from, as I say, all the way up in Bridgewater, and they are happy to come down and collect the bike and take it back, sort the issue, and return it to me, which I think as an after-sales service is beyond recall. Fantastic. So that's happening next week, and then the bike and I are then hopefully travelling up to Hampshire, where we're going to undertake a few days on the Isle of Wight and some trips around the Southampton area. Well, we're praying for good weather. It would be nice if it was like it's been this last few days, which has been absolutely awesome at last, because England has had so much crap. I was so lucky to have that trip on the Indian into the Alps and the Pyrenees, and have, out of a month, generally speaking, nearly all of it was excellent weather. Had a few days it was not great, but generally speaking, it was incredible. So that's where we are. So Indian gone. Happy days on the Indian. I mean, I have to admit, happy days. Bike, would I recommend it? Yes, I would. Has the new bike, is it a lesser bike? In price, it's a lesser bike. Gadgetry and diagnostics, it's a lesser bike, although it has everything that I want on it. The important things that I really needed on the bike were things like, well, how much fuel have I got left? That's a really important one if you're traveling alone and you're going through mountains or deserted areas. It's really important that you have that facility, and that comes with a new bike. It's got all the trips and everything that I would need. What doesn't it have? It doesn't have cruise control. Did I use cruise control on the Indian? No, I didn't use it. It was always there, just didn't use it. Did it have a sat-nav on it, the Indian? Yes, it had sat-nav. Has the new bike got sat-nav on it? No, it hasn't got sat-nav. However, I do have a Cena intercom system on my helmet, and just using Google Maps or Waze or whatever gives me all the directions that I need through the Cena system via my phone. It also gives me my music. Did I have music on the Indian? Yes, I did. Did I use it? No, not really, because it blasts out of two massive speakers either side, and sort of travelling that I was doing, going through sleepy little villages, you do not want to be using that. And you did have to have it up really loud to hear it against the wind. So, again, not great. Not required. Is there another downfall to the new bike? Power ratio, power output, no. It's equal to the Indian without a doubt. I mean, it's a 1700cc parallel twin as opposed to a 1800 V-twin, but it's liquid cooled. So that means I'm not roasting, which I did roast on that Indian. I seriously did roast. How people in America use those bikes all the time without liquid cooling, I do not know, because your nether regions and your legs are on fire, particularly when it reaches, temperatures reach about 40 degrees, which is just unbearable. So that's another plus. The new Indians have got rear cylinder activation, deactivation, which makes the engine a little cooler. I don't have that, but I think this bike all in all is better for heat distribution. It's not as hot. What else? Oh, it's dual spring on the back as opposed to one spring. The ride's incredibly comfortable, and I have to say the seat is fantastic on the new Triumph Thunderbird. Far outweighs the seat on the Indian, and I know for a fact that so many Indian riders, and I don't get this, so many Indian riders buy an Indian and then start chopping and changing everything. One of the first things to go normally is the seat, because it's so damned uncomfortable, and they put on Corbin seats or whatever. But I think this Triumph is a bike that you can get on and you can ride without making any alterations to it. You don't need to put anything on it. You can if you want to. But I think now, I don't want loud pipes. The pipes on this are perfect. The engine's quiet. I need the power. I've got that. We've already discussed the weight distribution of the bike, and it's lower and it's better. I like it. I like it a lot. The look of the bike, it looks fine. It's Triumph. It's British. I like that. I kind of like that. I kind of like. It's kind of like American Iron, but it's British. It's apparently it was modelled on a Harley, I think a Street Glide or something like that. So I really like that. It's yeah, okay. Some people say it's a copy, and they didn't really extend on the copy. Triumph very good designing bikes. All they did was look at a Harley and sort of copy it. And of course, it went out of circulation in 2017. But I have to say that I really do like the look of it. So yeah, emission-wise, it's the same category as the Indian was. So I've already applied for the French sort of ULEZ ticket, if you like. It's not ULEZ, but it's a similar kind of thing, to allow me to go into French cities. Am I going to France on that bike? Watch this space. Where am I going on this bike? Well, the trips, there's loads of suggestions, and I think in my last video I suggested Ireland, and I think Ireland may just be it. That's not to say that there might be some other places to visit prior to. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. As I say, next trip is Isle of Wight. I've not been to the Isle of Wight for a long time, but it's a great place to go to. So, oh, you can ride the Isle of Wight in half a day. Yeah, I know you can. I've said this before. My bike is a cruiser, and I cruise. So I'm going with a great friend of mine. We've just done, as I also mentioned, the Cotswolds, which was great. Fortunately, got rained off, but we had a couple of good rides anyway. Camping was an experience again, but we did it in a van, so that was okay. So yeah, Isle of Wight, and a couple of nights over there, so we can really kind of just chill out and enjoy, which is what bike riding's got to be all about, isn't it? Solo riding normally for me, as you know, great solo rider, but occasionally team up with somebody that I really like, somebody I get on with, and do a ride, and that's what's happening when I go to the Isle of Wight. So, do I need to put anything else on the bike for long distance trips? This is the Triumph we're talking about now. Well, the sissy bar that came with it and panniers that also came with it are adequate for what I need. The panniers are not locking panniers, which probably I will miss, because it was so handy on the Indian to be able to lock the panniers, shoot off into a supermarket and not worry about what was in the panniers. These panniers are leather and they're not locking. I can upgrade to locking panniers, and maybe if I feel I need to, I will do. But at the moment, I've just gone for inserts into the panniers, which basically are inner bags, water resistant. I mean, the panniers are leather anyway, so it should be all right. But then I have been through some heavy rain, particularly like places Scotland, and it can be wet up there. But these panniers, these new inserts will sit in the panniers, and you literally lift them out with all your belongings, like suitcases, and take them to wherever you're going. So I've ordered those. Amazon job. And I'm sure they'll be fine. What else do I need on that bike? Well, we discussed sat nav. Don't need that. Cruise control. Don't need that. Alarm system has got a good one. I don't need that. Is there anything else that I would consider that might be a slight disadvantage on long trips? There is one issue that, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even think about, but now I've got it, I'm thinking, what if? So this bike, like many of the early Harleys and stuff like that, comes with spoked wheels. And spoke wheels, of course, have a tube in the tyre. So my system that I had on the Indian, which was a tubeless, filled with slime, and a puncture kit that meant if I had a puncher, I could just literally put a rubber plug in it. I can't do that now. I'll get a puncher. So we'll see how we go with this bike, and if this bike proves to me that it's equal to the bikes I've had in the past, then I might at some point swap the wheels out for alloys and tubeless. But then I might just keep the bike for a couple of years as it is and then sell it on and then buy something new. So, yeah. If I had money now, what bike would I buy? There's an interesting one. What would I buy now? Do you know what? I'd probably go for a Triumph Rocket. I really like that. It's a nice bike. You can have the forward foot controls put on it and a laid back handle, so you can kind of make it into a sports tourer. And yeah, that's an awesome bike. So maybe now that I'm in the world of Triumph, I might move on to Triumph. Would I go back to Indian? If I had the money, yeah, I'd probably go back to the new Indian Chief. I do like that as a bike, but it's out of the question at the moment. And living in Cornwall, you're stuck a bit. There's very few dealerships. I mean, of all the major dealers in Cornwall, you've really only got like Honda or Royal Enfield. You've got Indian. There's no Triumph dealers in the whole of Cornwall. The nearest one being Plymouth, which is also Plymouth Harley. So it's limited really as to what you can get service-wise. And servicing is so important. I don't know why these big boys aren't coming down here, because there's so many people down here now and there's a lot of money down here. So why the big dealerships aren't coming down here, I have no idea. But they need to get their act in gear and get themselves down here, because it's right for the picking down here. Everybody's, you know, people who've got some money tend to live. I know there's people who've got no money live here, but there's a lot of people with money here. So yeah, right. So that's the bike situation. The tour situation, yeah, got to keep touring. Clock's ticking. Got to keep touring. Still got Portugal still on the cards, but it's so damned expensive. But I think what we'll do with the Triumph first is we'll do a couple of local tours. I'm not used to riding on a second-hand bike. I've always had new. So this is a new venture for me, second-hand bike. The bike is unknown to me. It's one owner. Full service history, full MOT history, no issues. But it's not, I don't know it. So I'm giving it a good shakedown at the moment, and 3 months warranty on it, and I will shake it down. I'll ride it to its extremes and see that everything's okay with it. I'm not going to be anywhere near as precious with this bike, because it's half the money for a start off with the Indian. Half the money. It handles brilliantly. So touring wise, it should be just what I need. Watch this space, we'll see. So yeah, so that's it. In a nutshell, Indian gone, Triumph arrived. To coincide with summer. Summer arrived as well. How cool is that? So wherever you are, enjoy your summer. It may not be it may not be around for very long, so enjoy every moment of it. Ride safe. See you out on the road. And remember one very important thing. It's not the bike, it's the rider. So you might change the bike, but the personality of the rider doesn't change. So to all the people that I knew when I was riding Indian, still same guy. To all the people I've yet to to all the people I'm going to meet, hopefully, riding Triumphs, yeah, look forward to meeting you guys. And to all the people that ride different bikes, bikes are bikes. Okay, stay cool, stay safe, and next video is probably going to be Isle of Wight, September. Catch you there.